I'm done with these entitled pork and beans American women. The scam has been exposed.
Serious question. What is up with the black men in Thailand? Are y'all okay? And I'm not even speaking like on a romantic level, but just on a normal, cordial level. Y'all are weird. I seen a black man today just walking, and just like I give everybody else, I gave him a nod and like a little smile. When I tell you this man looked at me like he seen a ghost, and I couldn't do nothing but bust out laughing because what is wrong with you? I get a lot of y'all come over here to sow your wild oats, but that doesn't mean that you instead be rude to any black American that you see. We are the minority in a foreign country. So yes, when I see another black person, I'm expecting for there to be some type of mutual respect between us. Am I saying that we gotta hug and hold hands and go on a date? No.
Yo, so we back in here for another edition of F-ya-Motha, and it's another day, another dollar, another black. Now, you know what? It's another woman complaining about shit she don't need to complain about. Now, in one breath, I understand her saying when I see another black person, the acknowledgement should be there. You ain't in the States. I'm sorry, that rule doesn't apply. And usually I would say it does, but considering the fact of the shit that's happening within like the last 10 years among relationships, namely the gender wars between black men and black women, he went to another country to get away from your ass. Now, he probably did look like he seen a ghost because he wasn't expecting your ass, and he didn't want to speak to your ass. I think people got the, like, especially if they're complete strangers, have the wherewithal and the option to not speak to other black people if they feel like there's a certain level of trauma or toxicness from that person. Now, like I said, if you're within the States, you probably should, because we need black people. And when I say black, I mean black Americans. I could care less if I speak to another African or a Caribbean person ever again in my life. And a lot of those people are my friends. But considering the fuck shit that they be on from time to time, that I can honestly say that black folks from America, like American black people, ain't put me through. Yeah, I could do without the diaspora people interaction forever. That's not to say I dislike you motherfuckers. I just have had a numerous unpleasant interactions. So then there's that. But what I'm saying is, with black Americans in other spaces like Thailand, yeah, he probably didn't want to speak to you. And you probably was like, I don't know, the archetype of black woman that was rude to him in the States. Now, I don't even condone passport bros and their ideology of leaving to women that are more palatable, because unless you're becoming a citizen in Thailand or any of these foreign third world countries, what the fuck's the point? If you just going there to get some buns, that just says that your game was whack in the States, because pussy ain't hard to get. It's relationships that are frustrating. And like I said, unless you become a citizen and you could live there, it's not really a relationship. You're paying for coochie and time. When you leave, she fucking another dude. Believe that. But if you think that she's out there like being faithful to you and you're not a citizen of the country, bro, you're a different type of green. I'ma just keep it 100. And this is probably rude. A lot of niggas that passport bros, they don't like. I remember working with a nigga that was a quote unquote he was a wannabe passport bro. Let me slow that shit down. Nigga didn't even have a passport. He was arguing some shit that didn't apply to him. I said, you a broke nigga without a passport. The fuck you even arguing about? You know what I'm saying? Like, and he lived with his foreign girlfriend. Just all around stupid. So yeah, it's this is like weird as shit, because you got people trying to make arguments that Yeah, find something to do with your time. And she didn't like the fact that Brody was in another country chillaxing with another female. Probably was a lady boy. That's one thing. Like, a lot of these chicks, like, especially with these passport bros, they be like, yeah, I'm gonna go to this that might be a lady boy. And in that case, ma'am, why are you mad he didn't acknowledge you? He had another man on his hands. He didn't have time to be acknowledging you. He's strutting around with his bussy. Now, had this been Colombia or Brazil, some shit like that, I probably wouldn't say that. But if you're in Thailand, or the Philippines, you have to be very cautious on what you walking around with, because you may be walking around with a lady boy. It look like a woman. It sound like a woman. That ain't no woman. Dude look like a lady. But yeah, playing devil's advocate, ma'am, he didn't have to speak to your ass. He didn't even have to acknowledge you, because I understand people that get on motherfuckers' nerves. And the last thing you want to do after having so many bad interactions with them, fuck them. Me personally, while I understand and can empathize or sympathize with men that have had bad interactions with black women, namely in the States, I'm the type of person, I don't hold grudges. So, like, even though I've had my share of bad interactions with black women, that doesn't sully my opinion about them as a collective group of women. I'm a reasonable person. I just go with the notion that this bitch is silly. So every time I meet a black woman, it's like a new encounter. I don't take over shit experiences I've had to new people. That's the epitome of toxic. You know what I'm saying? I let go, and like Christians say, let go and let God. You know what I'm saying? I tend, that's always been the type of person I am. I tend to not, like, even with white folks, maybe not white folks. I will say even with white folks, while I've had bad encounters with racist people, I tend to not think that is applicable to all white people, even though, before y'all start patting yourself on the back, I think all y'all have the tendency to be racist. I think that's a fair assessment. That's not to say that you all are, but I think it's possible for y'all to have that. Even though with that being said, every encounter with black people or every encounter with white folks is like a new interaction until it's not. I don't take and harbor shit from one person to another, but I can understand how somebody does. And on top of all that, man, like, bitch, you're mid. I'm tired of these women that's like, it's one thing if you're super fine, you're average at best. You're not a bad looking woman, but you ain't knockout. He probably didn't notice you because the lady boy or even the real Thai woman on his arm actually was probably finer. And that's what us men typically do when we with a woman that's good looking. We don't acknowledge the mid women. So that's possible. So the fact that you're taking it personal because he was black, ma'am, he probably made it bluntly clear he don't like black women, which is why he's in Thailand. So yeah, sometimes y'all women just be egotistical, thinking that you, like, the world revolves around you. Man, he wasn't even probably paying you no mind, because it don't cost shit. In any event, if y'all like this episode, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm out.